So, hi everybody. I just wanted to film a video on just life in general. Um, I've I had a baby 5 months ago, and just haven't felt like myself. You know how that is. If you've had kids, you know what I'm talking about. It's tough to get back to yourself. This was my second child, and I feel like it's harder to strike the balance because I'm pulled in more directions. My job is relatively demanding. I do work full time. Lots of deadlines, lots of traveling sometimes. And, you know, I'm torn between wanting to be a great mom, perfect mother, if possible, and perfect wife, if possible, and a successful businesswoman who still strives for more. And it's a challenge. I mean, it's really hard. And then on top of that, I expect a lot of myself physically. And it's just hard to fit all of that in at one point in a day. And I'm torn. I want to be better every day. And so my biggest goal, because if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that my knack for fashion, or my desire to be fashionable, is my art. It's my creative outlet. It's how I express myself. And I decided that fitting into my clothes was a big part of that for me. I'm 5 months out, and most of my clothes fit, but they don't fit the way I'd like them to. They're a little tighter, a little snug. And I am breastfeeding, so the tops don't necessarily fit at the moment, but I'd like to fit into them at some point. And obviously, I've always put more emphasis on making sure that my babies were healthy and had what they needed. So I'm not going to diet or do anything that would jeopardize their well-being and food supply. So with my first little girl, it took me about a year and a half before I lost all the weight and got back to the size I was before I had her. But I had more complications with her, or after her rather. I have a slipped disc in my back and was in severe back pain, and that put me into a real funk for a while. And when I decided to stop feeling sorry for myself is when I sought out options, and I knew I couldn't live like that forever. So I just got it together, and I worked out every day regardless of the pain, made no excuses for it. And I'm not saying it works for everybody. It seemed to work for me. I also had hip bursitis and kidney stones. And I mean, I was kind of jacked up. So I had a lot of things I was dealing with after her, and I just decided to get it together. And I wasn't gonna be happy suffering forever, so I knew I had to change something. And so I feel like I'm coming to that point again. Luckily, my back is holding up pretty well. I have some back pain, and sciatic nerve pain, but nothing like what it was after my first baby. And it's tough. So I definitely understand people who struggle with pain on a daily basis. I might not have had it to the same degree as some people, but it was pretty bad, to the place where you get just sad all the time. And it's hard to live like that and raise a family, because there's so many demands on you, and you, or at least I, want to be the best person possible for them, for their sake, so that I'm not sad or upset while I'm raising them, because I want them to be happy little people who turn into amazing adults, you know. But I'm coming to that place again, where I want to feel good about myself, and I want to work out, and I want to eat really healthy. And as I say all of that, I get really tired at just the thought of how I'm going to get that done. So it's just commitment, I think. And I'm going to do my best. This is kind of my weight loss diary, if you will. It's my first step at making myself better. And I have, in the past, lost quite a bit of weight. Before I got married, I I think I got up to 186 pounds. And that's a lot of weight for my size. I mean, I'm 5'3", 5'4", 5'4", closer to 5'4" than 5'3". And that's a lot of weight on a little body. My frame doesn't really need that much weight. I can relatively, I think I hold it pretty well. And I when I would tell people how much I weighed, people were actually very surprised at how much I weighed. Because I think I can mask it pretty well with clothes. I knew how to do that. And I think I just carried it kind of good. I mean, I have thin legs, relatively thin legs, and so you didn't really see it there, although of course I had some fat there. But before we got married, I went from 186 down to 136, actually. So I lost a lot of weight. I lost 50 pounds, and that was in the matter of like a year, maybe less than a year, about 8 to 11 months, about that. And I was much younger, and I was 23 at the time. But my biggest motivating factor was that I felt it was for my kids that weren't born yet. I wanted them, I had this idea in my head that I wanted them to look back at my wedding photos and say, wow, Mom, you were really hot, or you look really great, and you were so fit, and you look amazing, And so that really drove and motivated me, and I did it. And I've kind of yo-yoed my whole adult life, but I've been married now 10 years, and about 5 years ago, I got really stressed out at work, and I gained a lot of my weight back. I was also happy, too. I think that happens to me. I'm an emotional eater. I eat out of happy times, out of sad times, out of boredom, out of stress, out of all sorts of things. Food is my therapy, essentially. So I'd like to change that this time around, because now I'm looking at life as a mother and a wife and a career woman who just needs to have it together as much as possible for the sake of the survival of my family. And I want to feel good about myself all the time instead of, certain shoes or that do it for me, So I've dedicated time in every day or every night to carving out a little piece that's just for me to paint my nails or play with makeup, try it out, or put together outfits for the next day, or just meditating and reflecting on the day and being grateful. And I think it's hard to do, and I know I'll stumble and fall and feel a little hopeless sometimes, but I think I can do it. I think I know what to expect. I've done it twice before where I've lost some weight, and before I had my little girl, 3 years ago, I decided to be in the best shape of my life before I got pregnant, so that my body would be her temple, essentially, while I created a life. And I succeeded. I got down to, I think, 135 pounds too, or 138. And so hovering in the 130s is not a far-fetched idea for me. So that's where I'd like to be, but I'd like to be the leanest, healthiest thing I can be, that I can realistically maintain, because I don't want to necessarily prevent or deprive myself of, a treat here or there. I believe there are exceptions, birthdays, celebrations of sorts, holidays, to just indulge a little and do. But for me, I get into a cycle of almost like abuse of my body, in that I'm not eating healthy. I reward myself with, these sweets. Like, my downfall is bread. I love sweetbreads and cakes and all of that. Ice cream, I love it. But I need to change that, and I'm looking forward to doing that. So, crazy me for doing it now, but I want to do it, and I want to start now during the holidays. So I hope you join me on this journey, and if any of it resonates with you, let me know, and we can commiserate together or uplift each other together. I think it's doable, and I'm excited because I think I'm going to watch myself transform again, only this time permanently, because I don't want to do it again the older I get. I want to be done and have it down, and third time's a charm, right? So, yeah, I hope you're with me on that, and we can chat day in and day out if we have to. Make it happen. So I don't really have an outline for how this is going to happen, at least on this channel. But I think I'm going to share with you my thoughts, what I'm eating, results I'm getting. I haven't done like a full status of where I stand currently. I think I'm about 160, but I'm not sure. So I need to do all the stats and the measurements and all of that, because I do like seeing that change. That really motivated me the first 2 times. And it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So hope you're with me for the ride. Bye.